difference at all. Whatever. So, well, I'm here. I've, settled, but, gotten not unpacked. Most of my stuff is still in my suitcase, but, I'm still feeling more up to the task now. So here, I told you, I promised I would tell you more about what happened last week, so here we go. I actually got a letter before I left for Thanksgiving, and that was a jury summons. They told me I had to be there on the 28th. And I was like, wait a minute, am I even going to be back by the 28th? Yep, it was the day after we got back. So I said, okay, I can't skip this, because, they'll like fine you or jail you for a few days if you just don't show up. And, but, it was kind of irritating, because, I keep repeating that I live in this tiny little town up in the mountains, and the courthouse is, about 40 minutes away, and and I had to be there by 8 in the morning. So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, it was interesting. The trial proper hadn't actually started yet. It was just the initial jury selection process. So that first morning, all they did was, when they brought us in the morning, they just said, okay, anybody who wants to ask for an excuse for this list of acceptable reasons, stay here. Everybody else can just wander around town for a couple hours. So I wandered around town for a couple hours, because the judge had come in and told us, okay, these are the sort of things that do and do not count as acceptable excuses. And so I said, okay, I don't qualify for any of those, so I just walked around for a while and wasted time till I had to be back there. And then once those people were gone, we went over to the actual courtroom. When we first went over to the courthouse, there were like, I don't know, 70 or 80 of us, and it's going to get narrowed down to 12, actually 14, 12 jurors and 2 alternates. So the idea was that they were going to take 20 of us at a time into the actual jury box and start asking us various questions and figuring out, okay, is this person both fit and, properly suited to do this sort of case. It was a murder trial, incidentally. I was kind of nervous and almost hoping that I would stay out of it for as long as possible, but actually, I got called into the jury box in the very first round. I was number 14 on the list they called, and I said, okay then, let's do this. So when we got into the box, they handed us all, and in fact everyone in the room, everyone got this list of names of, the defendant, the victim, the lawyers, the judge, and all of the various witnesses. And one of the first questions they ask is, okay, do you know anybody on that list in any way? And several people who were in the box with me actually did, and basically after every question they ask you, they follow up with, do you think that will prevent you from being fair and objective to both sides in this case? And some of them said yes, and they were immediately excused. And I had sort of been debating before I went whether I should, be, whether I should try to be, difficult and annoying, or whether I should dress sloppily so they would excuse me right away. But actually on the form itself, when they sent it to me, it actually said, okay, this type of clothing is not allowed. We will not even we will not accept that as anything. So yeah, so I decided, okay, yeah, I'll dress professionally, and I'll be, as open, I'll do it right. If I'm gonna do this, I'll go ahead and do it right. So, they kept going through questions, and they would, they had this board in front of this whiteboard in front of us with a list of questions like, okay, what's your name? What county do you live in? What you're married? What are your spouse and children's names and occupations? And do you have any medical conditions? And is there any other reason that we haven't talked about yet why you would not be able to be fair in this case? And so everybody in the box answered, and they seemed to not like the way I answered, because I was like, okay, I'm Spencer Johnson, I'm single, and this is where I live, and as far as because the next questions were, spouse, kids, job, medical conditions, and reasons you can't be fair. So I just said none, 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 and none. And the judge said, okay, I understand you want to get done as fast as possible, but the attorneys are trying to get to know you right now, so slow up a little bit. So after that, initial round of questioning from the judge, then the district attorneys, the prosecutors, came forward and said, okay, now we have a few questions. And when it got to one of them got to me and said, okay, you said that you have a YouTube channel, because I mentioned, okay, I don't have an employer, so I just have my own YouTube channel, and that's it. And so he said, okay, you have a YouTube channel. Tell us about that a little more. So I told them about this. I told them what it was. I said, it's a comedy cooking show where I just highlight all the ways I screw up in the kitchen. And interestingly, this, everybody hates going to jury duty. For me, it may have been almost a blessing in disguise, because several people came up and asked me, hey, tell me more about this. Like, I want to look this up later. And I don't know if they actually will. I don't know if they'll probably mostly forget about it especially if they actually get into the trial and spend 2 weeks, debating over a murder. But that's, it was a good thing. Like one woman who said her husband actually is a cooking instructor, and she says he tries to teach his students to let loose and enjoy themselves and have fun in the kitchen, and maybe he could use my videos as an example. And I'm like, oh well, let's see if that happens. Again, I don't know if any of them will actually come here and look at these, but maybe. But anyway, so that was the first day. The second day, they basically just, they said, hey, when you come, make sure you remember what seat you were in, because you're going to have to sit in that exact same seat tomorrow. So we came back the next day, that was Tuesday, and they told us, okay, you're going to have to, once they just finished the last few questions that they had about whatever it was, and once they had finally gotten through all of the general reasons for excusing prospective jurors, they got into the attorney dismissals, or I don't know the technical term, and I don't know if there's like a difference in legalese between excuse and dismiss, but I'm not required to care. But anyway, they got to the lawyers had their own list of people that they decided they did not want on the jury for whatever reason. I don't actually know what the real reasons were. So they said, so they went through they alternated between the prosecutor and defender. Okay, prosecution wishes to dismiss Mr. So-and-so, juror number 4. Okay, juror number 4 leaves. Defense wishes to excuse Ms. whoever, juror number 12. So the person in seat 13 moved to number 12, and I got moved up to number 4. And as soon as I sat down, they said, okay, the prosecution wishes to excuse number 4, Mr. Johnson. And I said, oh, well, okay then, guess I'm done. So I don't know what it was that I said during the process, or I don't know what it was that made them say, okay, we don't want him around for this. Maybe it's because I was easily among the youngest people there. There may have been 1 or 2 other people who were around my age. Other than that, it was I was definitely the youngest one in the box at that point. So I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was my job, or lack thereof traditionally, and I don't know. Whatever it was, they just said, okay, we don't need this guy. So they just said, okay, goodbye, you're done now. So yeah, that was my experience with jury selection. I'm kind of glad it happened, and I'm honestly glad that I got out of it. I'm glad I don't have to spend 2 weeks trekking 40 minutes every day to get there, but I'm glad that I got to see, firsthand what the beginning of the process looks like. But I am also very glad that I don't actually have to, sit through a murder trial. So yeah, that's how that happened, and I really don't know what else to say. I'm just sort of, it was an experience. I'm hoping it won't happen again for a while. But yeah, that's really all I have on that, and I was thinking if I took a short enough time with this, I would just sort of put it at the beginning or end of the secret menu this week, but I think I'll make this its own video because I've taken up 12 minutes at this point, so I'm just going to have this be its own video like I did with the superfoods rant and the food insecurity video. So I'm just going to make this its own thing. And now, click one of the things, I guess, to go to the secret menu proper. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. It feels weird doing my normal outro for a video like this one, because it has nothing to do with my usual stuff. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Usual blah blah blah. See you in the kitchen.